I see. I think it started a new cut, so now we are on part 2 now, I suppose. All right. Well, as a Venetian trading partner, we can't actually go over here to Pisa or Genoa, simply because these guys are actually part of a different trading league. However, we can bribe the people there to let our fleets in, so that is something that you guys could take note of. So yeah, there is that rivalry between Genoa and Venice that you do have to keep track of. And from Venice, actually, if we go to the tavern,
Has someone been behaving inappropriately?
yeah, we have different ways of conducting like espionage between different cities and between different factions. For example, we can do quite a few things.
Anyone with too many goods squirreled away?
Yeah, we can denounce people, which I think it'll make it so that the people aren't allowed into a city anymore. You can steal some of their wares, and you can use the bribes to get rid of your enemies. This is permits too, and the AI will actually also do that to us. So let's go to Constantinople and get a trading permit there. So like I said before, the alliance between Venice and Constantinople was a very, very important one during this time period. So, actually, as a Christian person, you technically wouldn't even be allowed to on religious grounds. You wouldn't be allowed to trade with Islamic traders and essentially anybody outside of Christianity. So that essentially made it so that all of the other European traders, except for the Italian city-states, it essentially made it so that only the Italian city-states could trade with the Middle East and Egypt and Africa, simply because what had happened was that there was a saint named Saint Mark, I think, whose body was somewhere around the Holy Land region. I'm pretty sure it was Alexandria, but I'm not particularly sure about it. And what had happened was that the Italians went there to trade, and the traders actually grabbed the saint's body out of whatever tomb that was there. I mean, it was occupied by Islam. Followers of Islam. So what they did was that they hid the body inside a shipment of pork, and they just couldn't. Their religion over there didn't allow them to essentially mess around with pork, as it was essentially taboo inside their religion. So they hid the Italian traders hid the saint's body inside a shipment of pork, and then just kind of ferried it back to Rome or the Papal States, I believe. And yeah. So ever since then, I mean, their message, their reason to be trading with the other people, the non-Christians, was that they're not really trading. They're more or less on a religious thing, but as a side thing, trading so happened to make them extremely wealthy. So yeah, that is kind of an interesting portion of the game right there. Anyhow, this relation between Constantinople and Venice was quite mutually beneficial. I mean, on one hand, Venice was gaining quite a lot of wealth and prosperity, and that was also being driven into Constantinople as well. So we're just going to go to these two towns because it's fairly nearby, and we'll buy some trading licenses here and there. So we'll stop by inside this part. It produces some cotton and some bread, so we'll buy a license here. This one's going to be fairly more expensive because it's not going to be dealing with the Ottomans. It's going to be dealing with somebody else. But we'll buy a license here, and that'll give us another region inside the world to trade in.
I'm sure Uncle Marco will serve you well.
Yeah, Uncle Marco's already assigned to one of our fleets, so that is fine. And now we are starting to have a little trading setup. So that is very, very good. What else? Let's see. I think I'll probably make a second fleet now, so that we can access Coroni, Athens, and Constantinople and area. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to come into this port as well, buy a license here, and what I want to do is that I want to set up a series of trading runs in which we start off from Venice, and then we go from there into other regions. So that's my general plan for trading, is to make a set of hubs from which we produce goods, and from those hubs we kind of ship around goods. I have a cold right now, so if you will excuse me. So our trading round seems to be going fairly well. So let's take a look at the Gamma now that it's had some time to trade. It looks like the Gamma are they gonna sell off all of their lemons? They're gonna sell off a few of their lemons. So yeah, one of our fleets has already contested this region and is making quite a few sales here and there. So with that kind of said, what I'm going to do is we should probably start finding some new markets to
Would you like to take a rest?
So over
Because there is
time,
nothing to do.
your markets will become saturated with your goods. So because we're trading in lemons and a few other things, I think also wood inside these three cities, eventually the amount that we're going to move into these places are going to cause the prices to rise, to lower there in the goods that we're trading. So we're going to need to expand our operations to keep things just kind of going smoothly. Doesn't look like we hit. Yeah, you can either buy ships or construct ships, and it doesn't look like we can actually buy any right now that are within our price range. So I think we'll go into these little towns and we'll try to find some goods that we can ship back to Venice. You can only automate it if you have a warehouse inside these towns. So we're going to go into Zara here and we're going to pick up whatever goods that they produce. In this case, it's going to be wood, and 39 is the lowest price that you can buy it at. So we're going to buy 75 of it, and then we're going to buy some pottery too. Buy an ample amount of pottery, and we'll ship that back to Venice. And yeah, the first portion of the trading here is a little slow, simply because the majority of the things that you're doing is mainly just hauling stuff back from place to place. But as time goes along, the pace will just kind of quicken up. Let's go and pick up some bricks and some hemp and some cloth from Ragusa now. Hemp back in the day was actually used to produce quite a lot of things. Hemp, you could make like hemp jeans, I think you could make paper out of it, and quite a lot of stuff. But nowadays, because of the whole controversy related to stuff around, like, marijuana, you can't necessarily use it for anything now. Apparently we can't buy any hemp or anything there of notable value, so I think we'll go into Durazo and check out if they have anything interesting. So they have some wood, some more bricks. Ooh, they actually have a nice little sale on bricks that we can pick up, and we can deliver these to places. Generally speaking, wheat, wood, bricks, and hemp and salt will be your primary things that you can trade in always. So the good thing about trading in those things is that you always have a constant demand for them. And with that kind of said, what I typically could do is that I try to find a city which produces 2 of the 3 goods, and I try to build a lot of production facilities there, and then I just kind of try to export it as the game goes along. And the reason behind it is that your cities will actually be constantly building new buildings as well as new ships. And what they used to have is that the little city here would actually be a 3D landscape that you essentially click on the city on the map here on the overview map, or what used to be the overview map, and then you click on the city, and then that'll jump you into a 3D little Sim City-like type of thing inside the actual town. And from there, then you really start to build up your plantations and stuff. Now I think it's they streamlined that system, so you can't see that anymore, which is a shame. But I mean, it's still fairly interesting. I think they mainly did it because eventually you got to the point where if you wanted to build a plantation, you build like 60 or 100 different warehouses, and it was obviously quite time consuming. Building each and every single one of the little factories. So yeah, I think they got rid of it mainly because of that reason. So yeah, we're just going to continuously come into these different places, buy out some of the goods, and then ship it to other places. We can drop off some wheat here, come over here to Durazzo and get some... There's really nothing to pick up over there. I think we'll go to this town. And as we do that, we slowly but surely progress in generating wealth, and as we do that, we can then advance up into the different levels of trader stuff. So I think, yeah, Athens also produces wheat, so we're going to make a pit stop there. Yeah, stop by here, grab some of that wheat, and we'll take that and we'll ship it somewhere right around here. So yeah, that is the general flow of the game. Some of these goods are like, some of the more advanced goods are combination goods, so you require 2 goods to make 1 advanced good. So obviously bread, I think you need wheat to make it, as well as salt, and then some of the other ones you do need specialty stuff like that. And the game really flows from there. So now, let's see how we're doing inside Venice. We're building up ample stocks of lemons and oil. So from here to expand, we really do need to set up an automated route. So I'm going to go over here and check out how much stuff that we can sell. So Athens and Koroni and this town, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this one. These 3 towns do seem to take lemons and oil. So what we're going to do here is that we're going to get the Hermes fleet, and I'll see if I can actually add another ship to this. Let's see. Go and construct a sloop. If you try to construct ships, it's going to take a while to build, but what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to get the Hermes fleet to go from Venice, and from here, actually I'm going to delete all of the things right here. I'm going to get them to go from Venice to Koroni, then Athens, then that town, and then they're going to come back. And from there, we're going to get them to pick up goods inside Venice, and then we're going to get them to sell goods at all other prices. So as you can see here, the little dots are indicative of these 2 menus here. So we're going to get them to do that, and we're going to activate that route. So they're also going to automate things. And the sloop here can only carry 200 units of whatever. So the AI will just kind of automatically fill up its tank with whatever is most profitable and then go along its route. Oh wow, they were actually able to sell off quite a lot of the stuff there. And as the trades go on, you'll be able to check however much profit you made from each and every single one of the shipments too. Oh, so yeah, as you can see here, we made right around 7,000 off of that trade. So as we bounce around here, we will just eventually fill up this progress meter and advance to the next stage. Now, I talked about this a little bit earlier inside my announcement video. Because this game is it's a game about trading, and trading will... Oh, there's a pirate over here. Yeah, there's a combat system inside the game too. There appears to be a pirate station out there, and you can do some piracy of your own if you so choose to. But I'm going to see if we can make it past this pirate, because he'll be trying to take our goods. Oh, apparently he left. So yeah, this game you'll be repeating a lot of the same actions. So you know, there will be a few times where it's really rather repetitive, simply because your chances are is that you'll be doing a lot of these like runs a lot, especially during the early portion of the game. So we're going to make the Hermes fleet a little bigger by adding a second ship here, and then we'll just get them to automate again. Alright, so with a little more time, we should be able to get into the wholesaler, or rather the next division after wholesaler. So we'll wait a little bit and see if we can get there. Yeah, for the early period of the game, you know, you really snowball inside the game. When you grow big, you can earn a ton of cash, but when you start out small, you really don't generate a lot of money. So let's talk a little bit about the time period as the game kind of goes along. So currently it's 1455. The Renaissance, I think, was 14th century to 17th century, so start of start of the 1500s, I suppose, and ends in the 1800s, I suppose. So, yeah, just before the Renaissance actually starts is the time period that we're checking out right here. And you know, it could be argued, well, it's the rise of Venice, the trading between Venice and the Ottomans. Oh, earthquake. Huh. You could say that that's definitely a big reason for the Renaissance, because the Renaissance period of time, which was obviously the Enlightenment and a whole bunch of stuff about tech, the advancement of technology was really kind of kindled by the fact that these Italian city-states are really rather wealthy. So I mean, artists and scientists really had the funding to be able to just kind of do what they want, experiment with what they want, without, you know, fear of going broke and, you know, being homeless, really. So that's kind of that, and we should be there at the merchant rank very, very soon. Yeah, everybody around my town has been getting colds. Now that it's flu season, I suppose. Alright, so now we have enough to advance to the wholesaler, or rather to the merchant status. So we're going to go to that Senate again, and we're just going to apply for admission. They'll probably give us the opportunity. So yeah, advanced on to the new setting, attained a new rank, and now we can build ships with cannons.
Good. Your new rank lets you trade with other goods and other larger ships from the shipyard. And I've got news. You know that Francesco Foscari is the Doge of Venice. Your grandfather and I have often performed missions for the Foscari family. Now the Doge has noticed you and suggested that you acquire trading rights in Constantinople. You should do that, because the Doge is very experienced and is sure to have good reason.
Now, we already have a trading license over there, so it's probably just going to tell us that we finished the mission in a little bit. And it looks like we actually have a free ship here.
I don't think that it is trade the Doge is interested in Constantinople. My guess that something is brewing there, and the Doge thinks you could be useful to him later. Well done. You've got...
Yeah, the Doge is the leader of Venice, and I believe he's an elected official, and he's elected every 10 years. So, just another little tidbit. He wears a funny hat. It looks like a giant sleeping hat.
Some very families live in Venice, whom I have asked for support in building the new church in Ragusa. They have donated a hefty sum, which I can now pass on to you.
Well, alright, so apparently we're supposed to build a church in Ragusa, so I guess we'll do that. And how we do that here is that, you'll see here, we're starting to move up the ranks, and inside the previous games, it used to take a long time to actually get up to this point. But from the looks of it, we can actually already start to build up the towns, right? So we're going to come into Ragusa here. And we are, you know what, I'll do this from the context menu. I don't want to choose the individual building. Oh wait, that's why we need a ship there. So when our automatic merchant fleet gets here, I'll be able to do some actions in Ragusa when this fleet is there. So go to the city hall.
It's good to see you.
And then we'll buy a license to build stuff here inside the town. So we already have the required popularity of 35, and that's because our merchant fleet, which is automated, has been... Excuse me. Our merchant fleet has already been shipping stuff over here, and all we need to do is spend the cash to buy a license here, which then will allow us to buy a church, and we'll just place that order when we can. Oh, looks like we need a warehouse first, so we'll buy that.
You completed the warehouse in Ragusa. I'm sending you some donated building materials now. You should now commission the building of the church as soon as possible.
Yeah, so we will build that church, and I'm actually not quite sure what the church actually does, but you'll see here that as we build buildings, it'll cost wood, adobe bricks, and metal goods, and typically only the latter two are needed.
The new church in Ragusa is finished and consecrated. Well done. However, something seems to be brewing in the east. At any rate, Foscari, the Doge of Venice, has asked us to take a scout to Constantinople. The fact that he's giving us the mission suggests that we will be carrying a spy,